Hello everyone. And today we have a guest here with us, and I'm Dominic, and this is the program Face It with Dominic. And then we have a great motivational someone who is going to share his stuff.
I wouldn't say great.
Okay.
I'm just basically sharing my experience based on, the things that have kept me motivated and stuff. So
That's good.
it's not
Let's
about
get
being an
going.
expert.
Let's get going and see what happened. Okay. We're gonna talk about something so important today. We're gonna talk about, in any discussion, we have to narrow it down so we all of us that listen and watch know that we are going somewhere, we are coming from somewhere. And today is going to be the third edition, and we're having a guest here by the name of Adam. He's also a student in the BYU Idaho School here in Rexburg, and he's from Sierra Leone just like me, West Africa. And this happened to be his first semester.
Yeah, and it's pretty cold here.
Yeah, it's so cold here in Rexburg. We from a country of which we have more of 30 degrees Celsius and 40 and not less than 20, I believe so.
It's basically in Fahrenheit. It's basically like if now it's night in Freetown.
Yeah.
So it's like 80 degrees in Freetown, while Rexburg here in the morning, you have like, in fact, during the day, afternoons, you have like 13 degree, 20 degrees. It's crazy. You can
It's so crazy here, but
it will be the end of the world.
sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, so just a basic introduction of ourselves. So we're going to talk about a topic today, which is self-motivation, which I believe us as youth, even old, young, we need to be in the state of motivating ourselves rather than relying on people, rather than relying on family, friends, parents. As young people, we need to be able to do that. And before we dive deep into the topics, into the topic and some subtopics, it's rather that we have a full knowledge of what we understand about the word self-motivation. So, Adam, do you have anything that you want to say about yourself?
Well, based on self-motivation?
Like, is there anything I left behind of introducing you?
I don't know. Basically, I think that would be all. I'm a Sierra Leonean, just like Dominic here, and this is my first semester. And things have been pretty rough, but self-motivation, of course, basically the topic we're about to talk about. I think along those lines, being self-motivated has helped me a lot. To overcome the challenges I'm facing, basically coming here, my first time here in the educational system, completely different from what I've been used to. So basically, I would say being self-motivated has helped me a lot. So yeah, and I would like to share my experience on.
Wonderful. See, he's an inspired man,
Yeah.
And he might have touched so many of your lives as he speaks, even as me. I know him for not too much, but he's just a student like me. So we are not here to talk much about ourselves. We're here to talk about a topic. And for my research and what I have come to realize, self-motivation can be defined as to do or achieve something because of one's own enthusiasm or interest without needing pressure from others. That's the single and simple definition I've been able to realize, I've able to decide to use in this discussion. It's all about you having a self-decision that I'm going to do this because of this. I'm not going to do this because of pressure, because of what someone say, because of I just have to do it. But you just decided to do this thing, and you feel like I will be doing my exercise every day for 45 minutes. I have to motivate myself every time. I have to do it from 8 to 8:45. Just an example of self-motivation. So what do you think about the definition of self-motivation?
Well, basically, to my own understanding, being self-motivated in itself is a good thing. But when you have a goal that you're working towards, it helps a lot because you just can't be self-motivated because you want to be self-motivated. At least you have you need to have something at the back of your mind that you're working towards. And whenever you're thinking about that, the reason I'm doing this is because of this, it keeps you always in line.
Yes.
Doing everything you need to do to get to where you want to go. So yeah, that is my understanding about
Oh,
self-motivation.
wonderful. Thank you. And I think that's part of my plan of what I scheduled to talk about the next steps. And the next step of self motivation, you cannot motivate yourself without you having a plan. You must have a plan.
Exactly.
You must have a plan of what you want with your life, or what you want to do every day, or what you want to do every month, and what you want to do in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
So once you have a plan, it means you have a purpose.
Exactly.
And once you have a purpose, that means you know what you want in your life. Then that's a whole method of motivating yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you for that contribution. So I have like 5 questions that I will focus our discussion on. They might be why, what, how, and the achievements of you being self-motivated. Just for that, we can use ourselves as an example from what we've done in our lives. And this is my first degree, and this might not be your first degree, as I know that you've done your first degree before,
Yeah.
and now you're doing a second degree here in the States. And my first question for you, Mr. Adam, is why do you need to motivate yourself?
Well, basically, it is extremely important that we motivate ourselves when we're working towards the things we want to achieve in life. So, I mean, not having targets in life is a bad place you want to be. So basically, if I can go back to a specific point in time in my life when I was doing my first bachelor's degree, yeah, I'm a bachelor's degree holder before coming here. But gain a lot of experience. I mean, the way I used to see life, the way I used to work towards my goal. I mean, I was constantly in a state wherein I wasn't trying to be the best. I think that is one thing that was really bad for me, as I was always trying to be just an average, and I wasn't motivating myself that much. So as a result, I graduated with a poor degree to some extent.
Okay.
Because back home, compared to the States, the way degrees are rated is based on class. So I didn't graduate with a
First class.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
See, not that I didn't have the tools. I would say I wasn't equipped. Basically, the tools is you have to like work hard in order to get what you want, and of course, at the end of the day, get a good job. But if you're not working hard, even though you have the tools, you still won't achieve the things you need.
Sweet.
To achieve.
I love the point you just ate about you must have the eagerness of achieving your plan.
Yeah.
And then you must also be able to know yourselves, just as you said, you know yourself that at that time you were not able to achieve and get a first class because like you were not like too prepared.
Exactly. And my goals were not really clearly defined back then.
They were not
I
clearly
had poorly
defined.
defined goals, so as a result, I didn't have a lot to keep me motivated. So
Sweet.
as a result, I wasn't that working towards my goal. Yes, I was trying to get a degree, but really I wasn't thinking much about what I will be doing with the degree
Sweet.
when I get it.
Yeah.
So as a result, getting any kind of degree or a specific type of degree in terms of quality, which will of course interest employers, wasn't something that interested me much. I only realized that I wasn't doing well when it got to a point. I think it was like third year now, going to final year. That was when I realized I was doing poorly, and that was going to affect me. So basically, the BYU, coming to BYU is kind of like a start over for me. And now I'm quite making use of the tools I have, working really hard to make sure that kind of mistake that I did in the past.
Don't repeat yourself again.
Exactly.
All right. So from what he said, he'd just like to respond to the question: why do you need to motivate yourselves? He has just mentioned a few things like, I need to motivate myself because I have to have a realization of what I want.
Exactly.
And then why you want it, okay, and how you're going to use it after.
Exactly.
So these are the 3 basic things. We are talking to mostly the youths, and even sometimes people that are having problem with motivation. So that's a great point, and I thank you very much for sharing those points with us. That if you have a plan of what you want, you know why you want it and what will be the result. We give you the eagerness. Like an example, if you are working and then you have to wake up very early in the morning and go to work. You have to wake up like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Because basically the motivation for that is you're working towards getting a pay.
You pay,
to
and
pay
then
your bills.
to pay your bills.
So basically, the way we refer to that kind of motivation is external motivation. I
Yes.
think. So basically, you get motivated by the things you will be getting, like getting paid. Achieving things. So, and we also have that kind of motivation that is called intrinsic motivation, wherein you try to do things that you have passion for.
Yes.
And it is extremely important that we try to do things we have passion for, because that keeps off, because doing things we like keeps us motivated. Because at the end of the day, you're feeling good. That kind of way after you've done those things. So that is why you basically have to, even though we're trying to like go to school and get our degree in the end, and try to have good lives, good jobs, basically you have to keep those in a balance. External motivation factors and intrinsic motivating factors.
Wonderful.
Because in as much as we're working towards making our life better, it is extremely important that we try to do things that we like. So basically, we are constantly motivated in doing those things, and it's good for us.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that point of external motivation and intrinsic, right?
Yeah, intrinsic
motivation. I never thought of those words in my research, but that's why it's here. I told you he's a great man. So the next question I want us to consider is what are the preferred method of motivating oneself instead of relying on others?
Well, basically, just as I just said, you have to like do things that you like.
Okay.
Because if you're not doing things that you like, you can't keep motivated. Like you talking about you liking to going to the gym. You have some people who don't like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm not saying people should not go to the gym.
Yeah.
But I will put it in a perspective like for people who actually like trainers in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You have people on campus here that are doing a major on exercises. They love it. They always want to do it. So they are in that line of work. So as for me, I like technology. That is why my major is CIT. So I always like working with computers. Because initially I was planning on being an accountant, and that didn't work out well for me. So basically, I didn't like the idea of sitting in office all day counting monies, or like it wasn't fun for me.
Okay.
But when I switched to being that kind of IT person, I see that I like it. It keeps me motivated.
Yeah.
It keeps me going. So yeah, it's important.
I like the point you just said. The first point was that you need to do what you like.
Exactly.
That's one of the methods. Do what you like, what you have designed, and then you have joy in doing it.
Exactly.
And then once you're able to do that, then you're able to have the consistency of what we talked last week. You have the consistency to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then once you keep doing it,
because at the end of the day, you're not doing it only to like earn money for it, but you're doing it because it brings that kind of pleasure to you. So it keeps you going.
So what's it in the position of which you have a friend, husband and a wife. The wife does not like going to the gym, but the husband loves going to the gym. But always the husband wants to be with his wife always, so they probably go there together. The wife is always having that panic attack, anxiety even when she's there, but she has to go there because the husband wants her to go there. What do you think about such a situation?
Well, such a situation, you have people that don't go to the gym basically because they don't think it's worth spending your time on. So if you're in a position you're trying to change someone's mind about going to the gym, you have to insist or tell them about the benefits of going to the gym, because we are not only going to the gym because we like going to the gym. Yeah, for me, I like going to the gym because I want to have like big biceps.
Sweet.
Yeah. But basically, I think the most important thing is staying fit. So we are always being told that we have to like balance our lives in a way that we don't always study, and all this sitting. So you have to like have good health. So if you are trying to convince someone about going to the gym and why it's beneficial to them, you have to point out that it is good for their health.
You state the values, the importance, the benefits, and all that. Yeah, I do understand that. I respect that. And that means the main topic is that you don't have to rely on people. or people does not need to rely on you for them to be motivated. If you don't like something, let it be plain and clear. I don't like it and I don't want to do it. And if I prefer, I have a friend who said that before she goes to the gym, prefer she goes swimming. So you see,
Absolutely, because that brings more pleasure to
yes,
us.
and that motivates her more. So you see,
And swimming in itself is a way of
exercise. And that's another point. So instead of you relying on someone to motivate you, or you're sad, I'm just waiting for my friend to come, I'm just waiting for my mom, I just want to talk to my friend before I feel like it's good to talk to those people, but you have to know yourself so you know how to motivate yourselves. Okay. And the next question is how to overcome negative thoughts. So before you get response, when we say negative thoughts, is how you can prepare to overcome what your mind speak. When growing up, I learned that you have two voices that speaks in your mind. Okay, you have the good and the bad. So sometimes you wake up and then you have so many things to do for the day. You just feel like I need to sleep more 30 minutes, and you know that if you sleep more 30 minutes, you're going to be late for work. You're going to be late for an appointment. You're going to be late for your class. So how to overcome negative thoughts? What are your experiences so far you've been using? Let's be practical of you overcoming negative thoughts.
Well, overcoming negative thoughts is something I would say we do on a regular basis in our life, because we are not perfect. Even in as much as we try to organize our life in a way that we try to be more efficient in the things that we do, but things don't go according to plan most times, if people know.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to be stricter when it comes to
You have to be
managing
stricter
your life,
yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
Nonetheless, there are those times when things will definitely not go to plan. Like me, I always say every day I should go to the gym, but at the end of the day, I don't always go to the gym. In fact, now my time when it comes to going to the gym is just reduced and everything.
So are you trying to say your negative thoughts is overcoming a positive thought?
I would say I'm not organized in
Yeah.
the way I do my things, my studies and stuff. So basically, overcoming negative thoughts, part of overcoming negative thoughts is being organized, and of course, always trying to focus on our goals. In as much as we have goals that we set in our lives, you have to know that you have to know how to break those goals into chunks.
Yeah, that's a
into
good point.
basic objectives.
Mhm.
In order to, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point that which you just hit. Overcoming self that for me personally, I always listen when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's just I have this negative doubt in my mind. I just like sometimes I read the scriptures, sometimes I just pray, and sometimes I just listen to uplifting music. I just like decided to just listen to uplifting music, and then by the time I listen to one or two songs, I'm okay. I'm ready to go. Or sometimes I just think, why am I awake today? Why I need to do this today? You know, there are several methods which we can use to overcome self-doubt. But one thing I would say is that we have to be ready to overcome negative doubt because it's always coming. Some people say it comes from the devil. Some people say it comes from negative things. But I believe it's just natural of men for negative thoughts to come and positive thoughts. So you have to be ready to
So
overcome them.
basically, it's more of the mindset.
Yeah.
If you want to overcome negative thoughts. So having a good mindset or a growth mindset is extremely important for us.
Yeah.
In my experience, I used to be a person who's really afraid. I have that very strong math phobia, and it affected me a lot during my high school days and even my university days back home when I was like going to class. I always try to avoid subjects with math and stuff. So basically, what that did, the result was I was always in a position where I was doing things I didn't like. So I came to a realization that I needed math. And the reason I was running from it doesn't make sense. Not that I didn't know how to do it. I mean, it's not magic. You just have to like put in the work. So having a growth mindset and deciding like, okay, this is it. I'm going to study math. So basically, I studied math on my own and try to like improve my skills on math. And now I would say I'm not a mathematician. I kind like doing calculus and stuff, but at least I'm more comfortable now than I was before, and I'm more comfortable like math like algebra, which I didn't used to do. Yeah, so
Yeah, I like the example you use. I'm also I'm afraid of maths. He knows. But I talked to one of my professors recently. I said, I want to change my career. I want to change my major to something I like. And then he asked me, what do you like? And I said over 3 things that I like. And he said, you don't even know what you want right now. And I said, yes, because I'm confused. I don't want to take any major that would stress me with math. And then he told me, hey, Dominic, listen. If you're afraid of taking math because you're going to fail, but you want to progress in your life, right? That 1 or 2 fail will not make you not get what you want in life. When you stand firm, you're able to overcome that fail, that self-doubt of you not able to overcome math, then what? You are progressing once you're able to overcome that phobia. Yeah. So I learned something that
failure really is important in our life.
Wonderful. So
failure, in as much as we always try to avoid failure, we always try to be in a comfort zone, doing things that are easy. It is good to fail, because when you fail, you get to learn.
Yeah, you create the room to improve.
Yeah. So basically, I will point back to my past educational situation, where I will see to some extent failure taught me a lesson, and that lesson has helped me a lot. I mean, I have been able to progress to a level now that I'm more comfortable with, and I think I feel that kind of sense of achievement. I mean, learning from my failure, and I'm progressing in a way that I like now.
All right, thank you very much. Let's get to the last question. We don't want to take most people of the time. People like short videos. So the last question that I have here is that what are the positive and negative impact of self-motivation in our lives? What are the positive and negative of self-motivation? Meaning, when you have self-motivated, what you're able to achieve. And when you allow self-doubt to lay you down, what direction it will take you to.
Well, it's good to stay motivated, of course, if we want to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. And so basically, the positive impact of being self-motivated is that you get to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. And negative, of course, negative impact of self-motivation is you don't go anywhere in life. I would say if you're not motivated, then there's no purpose. You don't work towards the goals that you set in life. So I think that's a pretty bad position you want to be in life. So it's constant, and being motivated also is extremely important. In as much as we can motivate ourselves as individuals, it is good to surround ourselves with people that will keep us going. Because the people that you associate with, again, is key.
That's a good point.
So you have to surround yourself with people that you know actually have that kind of influence on you to stay motivated.
As you're all having the same goal.
Exactly.
You're all helping yourselves. Not when you said, I need to go, I have classes, you said, it's not just call the professor and tell him that you're sick. Let's play video games. He's still gonna give you a point. So that's not a good friend, and it's a good point. Thank you for your point. Thank you for your contribution. So it's just like a vice versa. If you want something for yourselves, work hard for it, and then stay focused, and then be able to say yes when you're supposed to say yes, and say no when you're supposed to say no, and motivate yourself. And the last quote that I will end our discussion for today is that be the best version of yourselves. Be the best version of yourselves. It's a deep and sweet quote that I want us all to think about. You know yourself more than anyone know you. Okay, so try to be focused, stay focused, not allow self-doubt to overcome you. And we talked about so many things the last time, and doing the things that makes you happy, that makes you, when you continuously work on what you want and they are good and they motivate you, you are working towards progress. You are working to overcome poverty. You are working to overcome, we normally say these things in Africa, that what you do today will motivate your children and your great-grandchildren in the future.
Exactly. You set an example for them.
Yeah, you set the footprint for your posterity. So when they come, they will appreciate what your dad done, what your mom did.
Yeah. So
I encourage all of us to be self-motivated. Don't put your happiness on your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your mother. Put your happiness on yourselves. I have one of my best driver in missions, Fadi. He normally says, no one will make you happy unless you make yourself happy. Okay, if you know what you do that makes you happy, that otherwise, keep doing it as long as you are making progress. Is there any last words you want to say to viewers before we end this video in the last 30 seconds?
Well, I just want to say you should know the things that you're working towards in life. You should always have something you're working towards. I mean, it gives our life meaning, because back where I'm from, I've seen people, I mean, young people like me who like just throw their life away. Not that they don't have potential, but they just don't like make use
of their potentials.
Yeah.
And they have self-doubt.
Basically, they're in a position where they're always lagging behind. I mean, with no purpose in life, don't know what is next. I mean, pretty confused. So you really have to like have that kind of focus in life, working towards something you want to achieve. You don't have to like be a graduate to achieve something. Like, you just have to be serious and work. If you know you're a carpenter, work towards it. If you know you want to be a mason, things like that. So you just have to like be serious in what you're doing, be steadfast, and try to be the best in what you're doing, and that will help you a lot.
Thank you very much. And lastly for today, don't feel like it's only when you go to overseas you make it in life. Okay, wherever you are, you can there make it in life. Okay.
Although my colleagues back in Africa
will say what?
Will disagree with that.
I know a lot of people disagree with that I need to leave my country and go to other country and make it. I was successful before coming to America. I would say it's because I had all what I want in my life.
Same with me. Okay. And I think the reason I'm in Africa is because I was working hard.
Sweet. So there's a lot of things that we can talk about. Because of time, we are going to end the video here. Stay focused. Face it with Dominic on this channel. Like, subscribe, and share. All right. Thank you. Meet with you in our next episode.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.